It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we got the Infested Lich guide for you, and yeah, this is going to be a meta-focused strategy. We're trying to get these missions done really efficiently and get as much of the new resources and mods as possible for multitude of reasons. But yeah, there's some really good loot going on right now, so we'll see if DE ends up doing anything to make it not as good in the future. I wouldn't be too shocked as well. So let's get right into it. Before we do, make sure you sub this channel. We have tons of covers on this update, and there will be tons of videos on these new weapons too. So yeah, there's like 13 or something new weapons. Crazy amount of stuff. The Elite Temporal Archimedia has been fun too. So yeah, let's get right into this video though, because there's a lot to cover. Okay, so meta guide. I am going to actually recommend. So at first on stream today, we didn't think that being in a squad for this would have been as good. But yes, it is actually very good to be in a squad for this if you have a very organized squad. So, big thing for these new Infested Lich weapons, they are going to be dropping it from a resource you can bring over to the Proto Nyx, basically Eleanor, and you can buy these weapons. So, got a 25.2% HEMA. You could be picky with these percentages. You don't have to grab them if you don't want to. These rotate every 4 days, and we're at like 2 days, 17 hours left for the next rotation. But you might also notice that not every weapon is actually available here at the same time. So, yeah, if you want to grab some of your favorites, go ahead. The Spore is currently 54.2%, and they go all the way up to 60%. And the lowest you could get is 25. And the new dual pistols are 25.1, unfortunately. Cool thing, though, is that you don't like the element. Let's say I don't want to keep this electric one for the Spore. Once you get 5 Forma on it, there's a new Elemental Vice item you can either get from Eleanor for rep, or buy for 20 plat to change the element at will. So, let's say I grab this for 50k rep, I could be like, okay, well let's make that a Toxin Sporothrix instead, or let's make that a Magnetic Sporothrix, whatever element you feel like going for. So yeah, good stuff there. I also have a new ephemera equipped, which you can actually trade these Liches and get a ton of new ephemeras. So yeah, really, really fun stuff. Let's go ahead and show how you can start up getting a Lich. So I already have one active, and they're going to only appear in these 1999 missions. You can do a Techrot mission, and I'd recommend that if you're trying to do this fully free to play, no plat spent, I'd recommend that you go Steel Path, and if you have the Steel Path gear for it, this is, you're properly geared for Steel Path. Do the Techrot new bounty. It's a new bounty that drops these new antivirus mods, and for me to fight the Lich, I used the W mod previously, and we can show you a method to get all these mods very easily. So yeah, I've got 5 of this one, and I've done like 2 of these bounties at all, so very easy stuff. But you basically have to do this to grab the Requiem mods, and then you're going to also want to kill Techrot enemies to get the potency mods. So let's go ahead and show how you can get the meta set up for your PARAZON, and also we're going to also show how to kill the Lich in the Railjack mission. So as far as the builds I'd recommend, you want to be able to speed run exterminate really fast, and also on the current patch, you also might want to play a frame like Encore or Nekros to get increased loot. So here's my go-to Mirage build, now improved with Omni Forma for speed running missions. I've got the Akarius Prime and the Infested to really throw out some rocket launcher shots. A Toxin Riven is on this build. You can put a Toxin on there to replace it instead if you prefer that. And it's going to be very similar, but actually with more status chance, so that's pretty nice for you. Pretos to move you faster, Vazarin to keep you alive, you can void dash through yourself. And also, you're going to get more of these new mods if you use the Chesa Kubrow with the retrieve ability. Nekros, loot from Desecrate can also help. Now, big thing here as well is going to be the way your PARAZON's modded. So these new resources called Live Heart Cells will be the resource you need to grab those things that we just showed. And yeah, you need to figure out which rune is the one to fight the Lich. So as you see this picture right here, the W rune is the one that I used to get the Spike ephemera you see that I have equipped. So you need to, to get to that point where you know which rune it is, it's not going to always be the W rune, unfortunately. So for me, on this new Lich I just got with the Saw Blade ephemera, I need to figure out which rune it is. So for right now, I've got these 3 runes equipped. Big thing to keep in mind, though, is that you cannot actually get any progress from the potency mods unless you actually know which rune it is. So do not equip potency mods until you have the rune figured out. That's the biggest thing they don't tell you, and it might be hard to figure out. Don't waste your time. Have 3 of the actual antivirus mods equipped until you figure out which rune it is. Once you get to the point you see in this picture right here, where the actual rune is figured out. Now you keep the rune on there. So in this case, we would keep the W rune on there. If we do what it was, we keep that on there. And they have 3 charges. We put on the mods here. Now here's where the meta part comes into play. If you're in a 4-stack, put on Quick Correct. For everyone in your team should put this on. This has a chance to give you more of the resource than if you were not doing this. And you have multiple Liches appearing at the same time. It's going to be really, really helpful. So once you equip these mods on there, you'll get progress on your bar. If you have the correct rune you see in the video right now, and I get to use my potency mods, I get a percentage. You could actually technically abort the mission if you want to, but you could also complete it too, so it's at the same time. So yeah, if you're in a team, multiple Liches will appear. For duet, they always appear, but yeah, we're talking more about stabs, because 2 Liches will appear, but you only stab those 2 Liches once per player. So with that, you'll be getting multiple extra weapons worth of farming in through a couple more missions. So yeah, at first we didn't think squads would be good for this. Squads actually are good for this, and I would recommend it as long as everybody has Quick Correct. So another thing as well, another way to get more loot is you can get these mods to drop from these Techrot enemies. You can get the mod called Turbo Protect. This one's going for like 50 plat right now. It's a good one. And the reason it is because it can save you a lot of time. Those bounties I just showed you, those will drop the antivirus mods, but this allows you to get an antivirus mod to drop from stabbing a Lich, so you can save a ton of time by not having to run those bounties. So, the way that we have this modded now, if you were to have your rune figured out, like in the picture, upon stabbing your Lich, you could either get, these are actually both procs. You'd get a chance of extra resource, and you'd get 10% of your bar filled up, and you'd also get a 25% chance of one of those mods to drop, saving you an entire bounty's worth of time, and giving you, this also drops your whole team as well, so your entire team's getting all this loot, and it gives you another 10% chance. Upon completing a mission, you do get 5% as long as the mission didn't glitch out. Sometimes it glitches out and doesn't give you 5%, but it's technically supposed to. So, as that goes on, you'll increase your bar, and then since the glitches give more than 10 resource per kill, you actually do get more weapons over time. So very good shout out to Marluvia on that one, making sure you have these equipped. Now, let's say you don't have these mods. They are technically considered more rare. You could go for these really easy ones right here, which give you 5% more, as you see, gain 15% disinfection, but they don't do as OP as second stuff, basically. It doesn't give you extra heart cell resource, it gives you 5k XP. Not as big of a deal, but you do technically increase your bar more with instant secure and immuno shield compared to if you were doing quick control and whatever the other one was that gives antivirus mod, Turbo Protect. These are giving you more overall loot for the entire team, but the bar is technically going down 10% less per stab. Still really nice to have as you get lots and lots of loot. There's also one for potency mods as well, but potency mods are a lot easier to get, as you can see. Threat blocker giving decent drops. Okay, so yeah, those mods right there can be deleted for a decent amount of endo. So for example, this like amino shield mod gives 1,000 endo per, so I get 44,000 endo from those mods. A nice little extra endo farm you can run through on these. So yeah, the Liches are pretty weak to Mirage destroying them, but some other good frames for this are also going to be Nekros to have extra loot from these enemy drops, and also Revenant's really good for being tanky. You honestly don't have to worry too much about what you equip for this part, but for the final mission, I'm going to show you a great strat for just knocking this out really quick. So the Torid, it's a meme to say the Torid is good for this, but the Torid is good for this because in this final boss fight we're about to show you about, you are going to be fighting multiple infested Lich band members. So the Torid Incarnate chain between enemies. So if you have multiple infested Lich band members, it will chain between them very nicely. The rest of the loadout doesn't really matter. You can equip the Magistar before they change the AoE size on it and the damage probably to slam attack some of the parts of this infested Railjack mission. So yeah, the Railjack build, unfortunately can't really show it here, but Shatter Burst is good, and some just hopefully relatively high level shields. It's not, your Railjack build doesn't matter as much for this part. It more matters what kind of build you have on your Warframe. So I'd recommend a tanky build that does not require Operator. Operator's disabled in this final fight. So something like this with Nourish and Energy Nexus would be great to give you constant flow of energy regeneration, and Mesmer Skin to prevent damage and status procs. So yeah, once you've gotten your Lich bar to 100%, like we just saw in the footage on that successful stab, it will flee to the Earth Proxima, not normal Earth. Not the normal Earth missions where you like, you know, Mariana or like where Eidolon fights are at. We're talking Earth Proxima in Railjack. So I'm going to give you a run through of the mission right now, and they're pretty easy. You could get emotes from this. You can get the resources you're trying to crave, and yes, you can also get a ephemera. Now here's a big tip for you if you're listening right now. You can get a second ephemera for yourself if you have an ephemera lich and you convert the lich. But keep in mind, you can only trade liches once. So if somebody sells you, or if you buy a lich, or someone trades you a lich, and it is a lich that has an ephemera, the traded lich, you should kill that lich. The lich that is killed also gives you an ephemera too. But yeah, if you get the ephemera lich to spawn, convert it if you want to trade it. You don't get heart cells for converting it, but you do also get the second lich to trade for the ephemera. Okay, so the way this easy Techrot mission goes, fly your Railjack close to the speaker, and then just basically enemies will board you, destroy them with whatever weapons you have. They're not very high level. This is not actually Steel Path. The only thing you really care about for Steel Path on these entire Lich Hunt is going to be just getting more of these mods to drop. The potency mods drop from Techrot enemies, and Steel Path has increased mod drop rate. Additionally, if you have a mod drop chance booster from maybe the circuit, or from the circuit, or from the calendar, that will increase the drop rate of these potency mods as well, so you can get 1,000 more Endo per drop, or maybe get some more of the one that gives you more heart cells or whatever. So yeah, that's going to help you a lot over time to give you extra weapons. You could literally get an entire extra weapon over like 5 liches if everyone's using that mod, even maybe more. So yeah, you'll get a ton of your lich weapons maxed out really quick. So as far as what happens when the enemies board you, just use whatever weapons you have to destroy the tumor nodes, and the enemies will flow out of the spawn pods relatively nicely. Like, pretty good spawn rate, actually. So once you've done that twice, destroy both the speakers. The tentacles and all the like slime and stuff will get away from the concert hall, and then you can either launch yourself through the Arcwing slingshot, or you can actually just jump out there in Arcwing and just fly there normally, enter it like a ship for Railjack. And yeah, guys, these are actually pretty straightforward. So you're saving a ton of time compared to Kubrow Liches, because there's the larvaling thing, like literally, when you activate the bounty, you can kill one Techrot enemy and abort the mission, and you get the Lich spawned. You don't even need to beat the hacking puzzle. You can actually fail the hacking puzzle, and you still get the Lich. So really, really, really easy. And you don't have to wait for like picking which weapon you want, because you just get the resource, you go to Eleanor, hopefully she has the weapon you want. That's all you need to do. So yeah, once you're in the final fight here, now here's one big tip. Now, it's great to be in a full squad for farming or for getting the Lich to get to the Proxima in the first place. But do not do the final fight in a full squad. Why is that? You don't get any extra loot for being in a squad for the final fight, unfortunately. So I would highly recommend not being in a squad for this. Unfortunately, it really is sad, but yeah, you can actually just dance here at the end if you're using the build I showed in the video, because the enemies don't really matter. You're just pretty much waiting for the Techrot Encore band members to stop using the AoE attacks. So yeah, if they patch Revenant being really nice for this, you can play Dante or something, straightforward enough. Similar build, just do zombie Dante. You can't actually jump on the stage with the band members, unfortunately. If you can, that's probably a glitch, and your run might be glitched out. Because, yeah, it takes a lot longer with a squad. We had a squad earlier. We did this in the squad, and we got all the way to the end, and we had to redo the whole thing. So, yeah, solo is much faster. Highly recommend it. And once you're done with this, just go back to your ship, rinse and repeat. These Liches probably take like under 2 hours, honestly. So really good stuff. As far as my favorite weapon so far, I really have the weapons I've gotten have been pretty bad. I got the Sporothrix, and I got the Mire. Those have not been really meta, in my opinion. I think the base assist will be my favorite, but hopefully that one has a good percentage as well. So yeah, just keep dancing here at the end. No real reason to kill the enemies. And as far as some tips and tricks, guys, don't worry too much about doing the whole heart cell mod drop thing. It does really help over time, especially in an organized squad. But let's give the real big meta tip here at the end. The order of missions you should run. So, if you're trying to spawn these missions, I'm going to give you the lowdown on what I'd exactly recommend to you. So, here is the order of best meta missions. Number 1. This is to save you the most time, give you the most endo drops too. Number 1 mission, Legasite Harvest, Normal Path. Why Normal Path? The Steel Path version of the Legasite Harvest has a ton of damage attenuation. If you don't know what damage attenuation is, It basically is just like a timer that means you have to take a lot longer shooting the boss to actually kill it. Now, there are ways to bypass damage attenuation. Mainly, Zephyr's tornadoes and a really, really high damage slam attack. That's a great way to do it. There's other ways to do it too. But yeah, I recommend that you do normal path, Legasite Harvest for the first mission. Second mission, switch to the steel path and go to the Rue Manor, Techrot, Exterminate, Steel Path. Why Steel Path now? Well, now that there's no damage attenuation involved, we're going to just nuke down the Techrot on the Steel Path, which gives, like I said, an increased mod drop chance. You're going to get more of those potency mods, which can also be more Endo, or just more of those heart cells from if you get that special one to make them drop. After that, so here's the thing too. Each mission is going to make the Lich spawn rate go up. That's why you want to do the Legasite Harvest as quickly as possible. You're starting at 25, then you're going to Steel Path. You'll be at 50 at that point. Hopefully your Lich spawned. If your Lich didn't spawn, you'll be at 75. In a full squad, you're going to have a Lich Fiesta at Old Kondaruk, the Techrot Hell Scrub. Now that you've done that, you'll get tons of Endo, and everyone's Lich should have spawned. Once you stab a Lich, it will go back and reset every mission. Just going to rinse and repeat. The worst case scenario is that, and also this would never happen, because we've had 4 Liches spawn at 5-minute survival. If somehow you did not get your Lich to spawn on Old Kondaruk, you will actually go to Mishta Ramparts, the Skaldra Hell Scrub, but you will actually go and hunt down an underground camping spot. The way these missions work, if you are in an underground area, Techrot will spawn instead of Skaldra, even in a Skaldra mission. So go find an underground camping spot, and you will get your more of your mods to drop the potency mods. So yeah, if that happens, then the last mission is going to be Mausoleum East. And you can't even get these missions to spawn on the new defense tile, the boss fight, or face off. So these are the only missions. These are the only 5 missions you got. And that's why the one that complaint that's a little bit repetitive. But yeah, guys, as long as you just do normal path, Legasite Harvest, Steel Path, Techrot Exterminate, Steel Path Hell Scrub, which would be my recommendation, you're going to be getting these Liches done really, really fast. So good luck on knocking these out. Again, you don't really need to meta it up too much. But yeah, and also just a TLDR on the PARAZON here at the end. Start it off with just putting every rune that you feel like on there until you find the one you want. Once you find the final rune you want, then you keep the rune on that you know is the correct one, and you can put on Quick Correct for more heart cells and Turbo Protect for more of the antivirus mods, or just go cheapo mode and just go for the double 15 strat with instant secure and amino shield. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video. Hope it was helpful to you, and let me know any other Techrot Encore Lich tips you have in the comments down below. Take it easy guys. Peace.